Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mega64 Podcast, the #1 gaming podcast on the internet, hosted by Derek, Rocco, Sean, and Garrett. And the Mega64 Podcast this week is sponsored by Shithouse. It's a podcast.
We got to write these down.
No, it wasn't that.
Something.
It has something to do with shit in the title.
No. It wouldn't be that vulgar. Apple would never approve.
We got to have notes.
It's hard for
They'd be so
sponsors,
upset
yeah.
if that was it.
What was it?
Dookie Fort.
Dookie, no.
Why did I wrote down things that weren't the title.
Just a process of elimination at this point.
We'll get it.
Crappy Castles.
Oh,
There it is.
That's what it was.
Bam.
Yeah.
You knew it.
Name sucks, but they sponsored this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what? Okay, here's the deal. Every week I come in here, I make a joke about Crappy Castles.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's run by our friend Travis. And he asked us to hook it up with a sponsorship here, and we had to do it. But I can't do a normal sponsorship. I have to make jokes about how it's shitty, about how it's dumb. I'm sure Travis is like laughing nervously, like, thanks. The podcast is called Crappy Castles. Check it out where podcasts are found.
Yeah. What else do you need to know?
There you go.
That's it. You heard the name.
That's a legit one.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to our other sponsor today, Tenga. Tenga has been cruising. I was going to say something that rhymed with pleasing, but cruising doesn't do it. So this is actually a bad plug compared to what he just did.
Sneezing.
It doesn't have to
That
rhyme.
rhymes with
They're
pleasing.
sneezing for a pleasing.
There you go. Something
Those
sneezing.
guys at Tenga,
Yeah,
listen, if you're 18 and up, you want something that's going to present pleasure and going to just make you feel real good, real happening, real.
Yes.
Oh, man, this is not a great start. But you can have a great start and a great finish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
At Tenga, the website, we're going to give you a special link to click in the info below. Click that, use offer code Mega64. You're going to get 15% off your order.
Yeah.
Do it and you'll be happy you did.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Go to our sponsors. I dare you.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Triple dog dare you.
Leave a comment if you actually visited any of these sponsors.
Yeah.
I dare you.
Do you accept Derek's challenge?
Yeah.
Or are you going to tiptoe
challenge is
around
on.
and kind of, puss out? So to
Okay.
speak?
Yeah.
I'm going to wave my hands here so everybody skipping the sponsors could just go straight to this part.
Oh,
Hi,
okay.
welcome to the show, everybody. It's the Mega64 Podcast. How you doing, everybody?
Yo.
Sean, you're giggling over there strangely.
We're just having fun.
Yeah.
We're just four goofs on stage having a great time.
Who would have thought we'd be sitting here with sponsors when we started this whole thing?
Yeah.
It's a blessing to have them.
The best sponsors on earth.
That's true.
But enough about them. Let's talk about us.
Yeah.
Lot has happened this week.
Yeah.
I can't
Where-
think of one
where-
thing,
offhand,
but
I
I'm
can't-
sure
very
something must have
Offhand, I can't
happened.
think of what they are, but I'm sure there must be
I'll
something.
get on Twitter. I'll read about. I'll remember.
Yeah, let's read about it.
Well, I mean, nothing's really happened on our channel other than our podcasts have been coming out.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mhm.
And then speaking of that, I don't know if this is the right time to say it, but we've been talking about maybe putting more of our shows on is out there, like more podcasts out there. So we're working on things daily, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We're getting things to you. You're gonna have so much content of us. You'll be so sick of us pretty soon.
The key word, content. He's using it.
Yeah, that's what influencers they use those
Yeah.
words. I don't know. Fuck this start theme song.
All right,
All right.
we're back from our
Welcome
amazing
back.
start. I like the start.
That's
What
a
was
good-
wrong with the start?
I
It
just
was-
felt like I was not in my game. I needed 15 seconds to get my head straight, and now I'm ready to go.
You should have done the plugs.
It's funny, yeah, because I had all kinds of stuff I want to talk about tonight, but I wasn't in intro mode. Once the intro came, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, you
the
said
hardest
sometimes-
part is always starting stuff. I
Yeah,
find.
and then you just gotta get
It's
past it, say a
Yeah.
theme song, and move on.
Yeah.
Talk about the shit. Rocco, you've seen like 8 movies. You know, I saw a movie. I think we all saw a movie.
Yeah.
We can talk
Yeah,
about that shit.
got a
We
lot-
played games. We did all this shit.
We got a lot of movie talk this week for sure.
Glad
There
we
will
got
be
past
film.
The awkward part.
Yeah.
We saw a big movie this weekend everyone's talking about. And I wanted to kind of get into it. Might as well.
Yeah.
The Foo Fighters horror movie just came out, Studio 666.
Right.
We
Nice.
saw it in a packed theater.
Huge.
Did you like it?
Release.
Was it good?
Sorry, there was chocolate milk
Was
there.
it
We
good?
saw it in an empty theater.
There was no one there.
There's no one there.
Derek, it is. I can't. My review is so out there with this movie.
It was so
That's
weird.
That's about how I'm
It
feeling
was
right now.
terrible,
Okay.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
All right.
I just wanted a movie that was fun and that didn't take itself seriously, and that is exactly this movie. But when it came to like the gore effects, it was fucking brutal, and it looked awesome.
It was surprisingly horrific for a Foo Fighters movie.
Yeah.
Because I went into it. Yeah,
Right.
they're going to goof around. It's not going to be. I mean, the opening scene. It's like, oh, that was like really rough.
Yeah,
Wow,
that was intense.
Okay, well, they committed
hardcore
to it.
gore. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the opening scene?
A woman is crawling away, scared, and you see like a tape recording of like they're recording some kind of demo, but like in the middle of it, people are getting murdered.
Yeah.
And then she's like pulling herself away, and you see the bones taken out of her leg because she just had some fall, and then she's scared, and then this guy
Compound
hits her in the
fracture.
head with a hammer 1,000 times, and it's so bloody and disgusting.
And you're thinking, oh, because this movie is it's the Foo Fighters movie. Like they're going to do some gag here. No, he just like,
It was
Her
horrific.
head is just
It's
mulch.
terrible.
It was like,
It was
all
like-
right, well,
It was like Evil Dead style gores where they're like showing you like the dummy head getting hit and bludgeoned with the hammer.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Like lots of blood. It was
Was
a fun
it
time.
set to and I'm looking to the sky to
There was
save me?
no real Foo Fighters music
No?
in the movie.
No.
Oh, missed
No.
opportunity. Come
No.
on.
The
And
song
that's-
they played a lot was cool, but it's like I don't
Yeah.
even think there's a soundtrack for
but
this.
that will represent one of my complaints about this movie right there is. So just, again,
They couldn't get the rights, maybe.
Yeah, we won't spoil the movie, but the general
I'll
premise.
spoil the movie. Who gives a no?
Yeah, maybe
it's
nobody
at theaters
cares.
now.
Yeah, the general premise of it though is that the Foo Fighters are doing their 10th album. This is a big milestone. They want to give it a different sound. So Dave Grohl is like, "Yo, let's record it somewhere different." Oh, they find out about this house that a bunch of crazy shit happened. A bunch of like dark shit has happened. Murders took place. All kinds.
Derek,
Hey,
it's kind of real quick. Sorry, Roger.
Yeah.
It's inspired by something you and Johnny discussed on the Mega64 podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The house that I believe the Led Zeppelin bought.
Oh, okay. Aleister Crowley's house.
And they recorded
That kind of
an
thing.
album there, but it was like this is very inspired by like that true story kind of thing. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah,
Roger.
so that's what they do is like, oh, let's record it this place and give it a different energy. Throughout the whole movie, they're working on this song, and it's like, oh, and it becomes that now the song's getting even longer and it's sounding even more twisted. And they're working on it. It's like da 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 da. And the whole time I'm watching this movie, because I don't know anything about the background of making this movie, so I'm like, oh, this is probably what they're doing is that they put this out, and then like this album is probably going to come out at the same time, or like they put out this horrifically long song that sounds evil. No,
They
that
just
is
made the
not
movie.
out anywhere. I'm like, oh, I would have liked to have that.
Now here,
song. Okay.
this is that song. I swear to God, is a Muse song. Like they were playing it, and it was like this is the end of that Knights of Sidonia song. It was like na 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 na.
No, dude,
yeah,
it's L
I
sharp.
didn't pick up on that.
You know what? I maybe I'm crazy, but I swear it is. But it doesn't matter.
But I didn't dislike that
No,
song.
no, no,
either.
it was fine.
Not a big Muse guy, but I like that.
the whole time, because Derek, they're not actors.
no.
And they are the it is them.
Yeah.
In this house. And it is just so fucking dorky. And
Yeah.
I'm sure there's 1,000 inside jokes just for them. But I just watched it and I kind of felt like maybe that's what people think when they watch version 4. Like, oh, they just had fun
Totally.
making this.
Yeah.
I got that vibe.
Yeah, if you're asking me if it was good, no. But man, they really committed to it.
Yeah.
Like I was like, hey, good for you
And
guys.
I honestly, with my whole heart, recommend it to people
Yeah.
because it is like, this is just a silly, fucking fun movie, but it does it suck? Yeah. Is the ending like unbearably long? Yes.
Yes.
Do they keep repeating like the same line? Like, who edited this? Like, you
Rocco-
got, like, you know, like Dave Grohl said this is our 10th album, no less than 500 times, but
Yeah.
it still was a fun movie.
No one memorized their lines, and when it came down to is the script funny, they just said, well, if we say fuck a bunch of times, it'll be funny.
That's what I was gonna
That's
say.
the whole movie. But I was just watching it the whole time going, I appreciate that there is sincerely no attempt to make a lot of money off this movie.
Right.
They did it because they like hey, fuck it, we've made our money. I wanted to make a horror movie. That's kind of I kind of appreciate it. I don't
I have
know.
a question.
Yeah.
You say the Foo Fighters aren't good actors. Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Dave
to be-
Grohl is pretty good,
that's
actually.
to be
For the record,
expected.
he's okay.
Pat Smear is my favorite part of the movie.
Yeah.
Are
He was the worst
they funny guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so. I think they're not actors. They're funny, and they definitely are like fucking around with each other.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they're
You
funny.
can tell they have chemistry from being around each other for a long time.
Right. Like they've all been
So that's
together,
there.
like in the same room with each other for over 2 decades. So naturally, it's like the chemistry between them is, you can see it already.
Yeah,
it's not like awkward, It's, you get it.
It's
but-
so interesting seeing them all like in HD, like up close. Like I haven't seen half of these dudes' faces
Yeah.
ever. And I'm like, whoa.
But that guy, Pat Smear,
Yeah.
was such a bad actor. It went around the world it's charming.
But have you ever
Like
seen
he's so awful that it's like, I love this guy.
Have you ever seen footage of him like from when he was in the band The Germs, or like even when he would help out with Nirvana? Like he's just funny on camera all the time.
Yeah.
His voice is funny, his mannerisms and everything.
Yeah.
And I think that lended perfectly to this. And it was very Pat heavy,
It was.
which was a good thing.
I don't know. Derek, I recommend you see this movie. I would. Will you love it? No, but I think you'll have a fun time watching it.
I'll say,
Okay.
I can't tell. But there'd be parts of it you like.
I do think the movie I thought had an ending, and then it went on there 10 minutes, and I thought like,
it was only 10?
Maybe it was longer, but it was like, you already had your ending. I don't care if this movie isn't 59 minutes. I don't care.
Oh my God.
we don't need to keep going.
It hits that
was
point,
long,
and I'm like, yo, you had it.
But I will say it was the only people in the theater was us. It was me, Rocco, Garrett's girlfriend Trish, and then Jenny went, and then we were all laughing the entire time. Like I think I was constantly
Intentionally or
laughing.
not. Yeah.
It was a theater of people laughing, all 5 of us.
when I walked out of there, it had me going like, there was a couple things that like I don't know, like, that didn't really make that much sense. But all right, we're just doing like a low budget horror movie.
Yeah.
And then I thought there's a lot of things in this movie that are very like maybe inside rock and roll that I don't think the normal audience would like get.
Really? Like what?
Did you notice the song that played during a chainsaw kill?
No.
There was a specific song he put on when a character asked for some music during a sex scene. It's a famous song by a metal band with a chainsaw solo. So that's the connection that I know in the script is like, well, yeah, they wouldn't hear me revving a chainsaw in the bedroom during the lovemaking scene because they're playing that song. But I'm like,
I didn't.
I'm in the theater going, this is over everyone's head but mine right now. And there's a lot of shit like that in it,
Yeah.
but not too much.
Yeah.
They tell you it's the 10th album about
You know,
100
like
times.
you watch it and thinking this is going to make no money. And I don't think it made any money,
Yeah.
but I don't think they cared.
Well, I looked up like what was the making of this movie, and when I looked it up, it literally the article was we said we all wanted to make a horror movie. We said fuck it, and we have no plan to make money from this. I was like, well, yep, that's what I saw.
That's what fuck you money is for, though. That's what you should be doing.
They're basically old enough that it's like, yo, look, we can do this, and we're not
It was
gonna lose
so
anything. Let's do
gory.
it.
It was
really
so gory.
Who
Fuck.
directed it? Do you know?
I don't know, but
I don't know.
honestly, though, the effects, even like the special effects of like there's like demon people going around.
Those
That
are cool. The
that
CG
looked
was
bad.
good.
Everything looked pretty good. I guess that
Surprisingly
house
good.
Dave Grohl lived in for a little bit.
They had some good cameos.
And so the guy who owned the house, Dave Grohl rented the house. I guess they were doing construction on his house. And then the dude is like, hey, I'm going to sell the house that you used to live in. Do you want to buy that house? And he said, no, I don't. But can we rent it again for like 4 months and film this movie there? And so they just like, he already
Trash it.
Yeah, and trash it. Exactly. So anyways.
Nice.
Yeah.
So that was one movie that was Saw. And I recommend it.
What's it called again?
Studio 666.
That
It's-
doesn't sound like a food. That sounds like a documentary about something else.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, some Studio
Like,
54 documentary.
I'm surprised
I
at
don't know.
how much I want to like give it another shot when it comes to streaming.
I would watch it again.
Yeah,
I think
it
I
was
would just
just-
laugh at it. Like
Yeah.
I was saying when I left the theater, I'm like, I was laughing the whole time. I was either laughing at it at some points or with
Yeah.
it at some points. Like I'm laughing.
Highly reviewed.
I guess so.
I went to the theater this weekend and I saw The Batman.
The Batman,
oh my
not
God.
just any Batman.
You saw the
The
one?
Batman.
The Batman?
Batman. I saw Batman, everybody. I was, if you don't know, I'm a huge R. Pat fan. I almost wore my Robert Pattinson shirt to the theater just to support him so much.
Yeah.
Am I being ironic? No. I
needs it.
unironically love Robert Pattinson so much. Why? I don't know.
I like him.
I love Robert Pattinson. I love Zac Efron, my two favorite actors. Write it down.
Yeah,
memorize
that guy. You got. I think it's more than just like
memorize that.
Zac Efron. Wow.
I love these two.
Yeah, Zac
it's
Efron,
more
you
than
get a
like
little-
I love these two men. I would love to hang out with these guys. We'd be the three best friends. So
I would love to have
best
a
friends.
fly on the wall in that
That'd be
combo.
great.
Oh, dude, we would
channel.
rip it up and tear it up. So I was looking forward to this movie just simply because of the actor. I avoided all trailers. I went in totally cold.
Oh, okay.
Totally cold.
I saw one trailer, but that's it.
The only thing I knew about this movie was it was 3 hours long. And honestly, that was not making me happy.
No, me
No,
neither.
That was
God.
not making me happy.
That wasn't a selling point.
And I was thinking, like, also, I loved Dark Knight.
Yeah.
You know, is it Dark Knight Rising? I don't even remember.
Dark Knight Rises, was the last one. Yeah.
Heath Ledger.
No,
the Heath Ledger Joker one. The Dark Knight.
That's the Dark Knight.
Yeah, just Dark
I love the Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises, it was okay in my opinion. I skipped all the Ben Affleck Batman
I'm
movies.
exactly you. Yes.
As far as
you saw the Justice League.
We saw the Snyder cut.
I tried to block that out. Honestly, that's the only thing I saw of Ben Affleck
Yeah.
Batman, and it was really god awful. In my opinion, that's the worst Batman on screen ever.
There have been
Worse than Val Kilmer.
But-
Worse
See, I
than
didn't-
George Clooney.
What was wrong with Val Kilmer? I like Val Kilmer.
No, I didn't like Val Kilmer at all.
I loved it.
See, Derek, I didn't think he was too bad. It's just I thought that his material was
wow.
fucking terrible.
Well, what are you going to do then? How do you separate one from the other? The Batman was bad.
And I will fucking kill you. Stupid.
That was really good.
Thank you. Thank you.
All of this is just to say my expectations were super low for this movie. It's 3 hours long, and we're coming off a big shitstorm of Ben Affleck Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is a spoiler-free review. I was sitting there. Before I tell you my review,
Okay.
I had the worst viewing experience fucking possible.
We had a weird one
For
too.
this.
What
Yeah,
happened?
we had a weird one
I
too.
saw this at the IMAX theater, the Reuben H. Fleet
Oh.
theater.
Yeah.
People who don't live in San Diego, this is like a dome IMAX theater.
Yeah,
it's
they
a
have a
it's a
dome.
planetarium.
It's a planetarium, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of like 2 theaters like this in America. So I thought this would be fucking cool. This was a fucking mistake. First of all, first of all, I showed up a little late. It's not assigned seating. So it's like we're sitting too close to the
Yeah, that could
Oh,
be, that could be
no,
bad. Yeah,
not
that-
that
but
screen.
Literally, when the movie starts, it starts with like it says Batman in giant letters.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. The B is fucking over there, and the N at the end of Batman is fucking over there.
No.
That's bad.
Batman.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was screaming in the microphone.
No, it's
No, the one time we went to that theater, we saw an anime there, and we got there at a time when no one knew it was playing, and we sat
So,
right in the middle, so we could see everything.
The movie opens with like shaky camera,
Yeah.
like almost like found footage.
Shit.
And I'm like, I don't know if I saw Batman or like experienced it in a fever dream. Like I have memories of like the Penguin's face, like in my brain. Hiya, Batman. Nice. Like
I'm the Penguin.
Like I'm looking up Robert Pattinson's nostrils. I feel like I'm a fucking mouse. Everybody in the city fears me. And I'm like, I fear you.
Yeah.
There was a car chase in this. I like closed my eyes. I was like, I think I think I'll pick up more of this car chase by listening to like the than like trying to watch this because it's just explosions in my face.
My God.
All right,
Yeah.
so it was weird experience. All that being said, I thought this movie was a masterpiece.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
I
what?
loved this movie.
Wow.
What the fuck?
And I will say, okay, I'm watching it and I'm like, this movie kind of sucks. And then it goes on and I'm like, okay, I'm kind of into it. And then it gets to a sequence where I'm like, yo, I'm like fucking really down with this movie. And it just continued to get better and better, in my opinion, until the third hour.
Yeah.
And then the third hour hit and I'm like, okay, we literally have another hour of this movie. And I'm going to downgrade it from masterpiece from 5 stars to 4 stars.
Okay.
It doesn't need to be that long. And I won't say anything else. In my opinion, it doesn't need to be that long. But I loved it. I would compare this movie to the film Seven.
I think so too.
Yeah, everyone
What
was
the
saying that.
So people say this movie is
Yeah.
dark. They say this movie is miserable. It
Yeah.
has that tone, but to me, I'm watching it and it reminds me of a David Fincher movie. Instead of Morgan Freeman and Brad Pitt going around trying to solve crimes, it's Batman and Commissioner Gordon doing the same shit.
It's always raining.
It's the movie is covered in rain. It's very dark tones. It's
Gotham
like
is
Nirvana is
perfect.
playing throughout. It's 90s
The
music.
saddest song ever.
Yeah.
dude.
I won't say too much because I went in extremely cold and I really enjoyed it, but it reminded me of movies like Silence of the Lambs, Seven, and The Dark Knight.
It was the most like detective.
Yeah, you talk about it.
It was the most detective shit I've ever seen a Batman movie be. He's a fucking detective in the comics.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've never seen a movie where he was doing more detective work throughout the 3 hours.
The story-
than this.
For me, it was like, wow, 3 hours. But as they got into the story, and they didn't take too long, it felt like a comic book. Like I was reading comic books heavily 2 years ago, and you'd get like a good 9-issue story arc that was violent and dark and interesting. You're like, oh man, they're doing different stuff with Batman. This felt like one of those comic book stories to me. My only criticism is you never get Heath Ledger's Joker in this movie.
No.
That's that where I feel like that's what's missing from this. That
Something that on that level.
that the Nolan trilogy had, like a memorable performance on that. I mean, he won an Oscar.
yeah,
for
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But that could it's long and you don't have Heath Ledger Joker. Those are my criticisms of this movie. But other than that, I thought it was great.
What
Well,
do you think, Rock?
I had the opposite experience.
Oh, you saw it?
Yes, and I did not enjoy it.
Oh,
I've talked. So this is something that I've talked about before. I've told this story before, where there was one year I went to a fucking Star Wars convention, thinking like, oh, this will be fun, like whatever.
You know what?
I got a free.
I was thinking about you, and I didn't think you would like it because
No.
it reminded me of when we saw Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Like when everybody liked that, and you walked out.
I was
you're-
like,
you're
I'm ready to go home.
yeah, not like that.
And later I kind of came around to it a little bit, but with this, I told you when I went to the Star Wars convention and I was like, oh, it would be fun to check this out for a couple hours. And then they gave me like all this swag that had characters on it I'd never seen before. And I was like, I don't know who any of this is. And then when I was walking around the con, I didn't recognize almost anything. And I realized maybe I don't like this as much as I thought that I did. The Batman to me was like, I don't think I'm into comics as much as other people. You know what I mean? I felt like it took it so seriously that I was dejected. I was like, I don't care that much. But to me, it was so like dour and like that it just came off silly to me. I didn't feel like it. I just don't feel like it needs that. I don't know. I just was pretty miserable for 3 hours and just wanted to get out of there. They're playing. You mentioned playing the Nirvana music and like that all just came off like fun, like goofy to me. I just didn't get anything out of that. And I don't know. All the fears that I had watching the trailers were founded for me, where it was just kind of like taking it seriously to a point that I'm like, man, this is not. I think it's taking something that's kind of like. Kind of still like making it like a no fun allowed kind of situation where I think a lot of great Batman stories walk that line really well of like, it's dark, but like, I mean, picture like the animated series. It's like, it was a dark show, but it had fun with its villains and, and even the Christopher Nolan movies had some darkness to them, but it wasn't like super serious. You know what I mean? Like there was some wiggle room there. I left this just kind of feeling like that was just such that just fucking sucked the fun out of this whole thing. I just didn't enjoy it. And I was thinking to myself, what was the last thing I saw where I felt this way, where it was like, yo, bro, you don't need to take this that seriously. And I was telling Johnny about this earlier. It was those last couple Planet of the Apes movies that came out where I really love Planet of the Apes.
Speaking of David Fincher.
But I felt like that's not David Fincher.
I don't think he made those.
He didn't make that one?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're thinking of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo.
Yeah. But
That movie
I
ruled.
thought to myself, I was like, that was one where
did make that.
That's
where
another
two where it
misery.
was like, I love the Planet of the Apes series, but like, how fucking serious do you need to make a bunch of monkeys taking over? You know what I mean? It was like they got so fucking like morose and like. Oh, I'm like, that was I just remembered back. That was the last time. And then I fucking looked it up and it's the same director for all of those movies. So I realized I just don't like this director.
Yeah,
That's it.
It's funny because I looked
Oh,
up this
it's just-
director too, Matthew Reeves.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I never heard of this guy before, and he directed all those movies. He made Cloverfield.
Yeah, Cloverfield was okay. I
and,
didn't hate that.
I feel like you could tell because there's a lot of shaky camera in this, and I was
Yeah.
like, you could feel like, and there's a lot of television and like cell phone reporting on the news. I could feel like
Even
the,
live streaming.
the Cloverfield influence was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, I think everything you're saying is totally fair and totally on the nose, Rocco. It's just it comes down to taste. I like darker movies. To me, this was refreshing because it was so dark. I almost felt like this was a response to. I don't want to harp on the Marvel MCU,
Yeah.
but I think that there are story elements that kind of place superheroes in a different light. As opposed to how superheroes are viewed in the Marvel universe, how these guys are like, we're the good guys, do no wrong. If you're not with us, you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
This movie has the opposite approach where it's like, who really is the bad guy? You know?
This guy's a vigilante.
Yeah, this guy's a vigilante and the police are corrupt and who's good and who's bad and how do we sort it all out?
Yeah.
And I really loved that. You know, I really dug it. So that's just my take on it.
I thought of you specifically in the theater, Derek, because the movie is so motorcycle heavy.
Dude, you're telling me. I was like, Robert Pattinson uses the motorcycle more than the Batmobile? This is the best Batman ever.
The fucking Bat bike was like so featured. Catwoman's on a fucking two-wheeler. Like everyone's riding motorcycles through the rain.
He
And I'm
even
just
looked
like,
kind of stupid he used it so much because I think at some points he was like standing up on the motorcycle and I was like, well, if you sit down, like your cape will get eaten up in your back wheel. Like, it's not even convenient at this point.
For me, this movie felt like we had a friend in high school that would sit and explain comics he was reading to you.
I remember this.
Where it's like I just read the most twisted Batman comic where Batman is crucified and the Joker cuts off his penis and eats it. And he would tell us stuff
Dude, no spoilers.
in total you know
Ruining the
what I
movie.
mean? In total seriousness. And I'm just sitting there like, like, I can't wait for you to walk away so I can laugh. Like this is so, and I just felt like this movie was so serious because I love Seven. Seven is a great movie, but even that, like, there's some, I don't know. It's like they don't play it so serious. Like, you don't fucking laugh at this. This is so. It came across goofy to me. I was not.
Do you think
enough.
it was the fact that you saw Studio 666 and then this within 12 hours of each other that maybe, you know, that's a
no, 'cause
whirlwind.
I loved them both. That didn't.
You loved them both.
Yeah.
Because one you said didn't take itself seriously literally at all, and one took itself very seriously.
No, I mean, no.
Okay.
I think the Foo Fighters affect Batman.
Did Dave Grohl ruin this movie for you? Is my question.
The suit looks cool. He's like bulky as hell in the suit, and then you see him out of the suit, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's our Pat.
Well, I don't want to get into it. The movie's brand new. I want people to be able to see it for themselves. I like Robert Pattinson as Batman. Not my favorite Bruce Wayne.
I
okay.
agree with
I'll
that.
say
Yeah.
that.
And I was going to say too, I agree with what you just said. I think I actually thought their take on the Riddler was interesting. Like I didn't really hate that. I thought that was kind of like, because when they announced it was the Riddler, I'm like, okay, how interesting is that really going to be? But I thought that take was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And then
I loved it.
And
I loved it. I thought it was awesome.
I will say I definitely do appreciate how much they committed to not making it like the other Batman movies. Like they did double down on it being a detective movie.
I mean,
and they didn't kind of hold back in that regard. So I do appreciate
maybe
that
they
did that.
had to. I mean, honestly, where else could Batman fucking go?
Yeah.
Like I didn't see this movie because I don't know if I really care, because I've seen Batman movies my whole life, and I'm like, I've seen them. I got it.
Sean, you're literally those are all my fears going in.
Yeah.
And I feel like they don't even bother with that. It's like, hey, Batman, we need you to come to this crime scene. We need help. And then he goes to the crime scene and you're just there going through the clues. And then the movie starts and you're like, yeah, great. This is like a single case. That
so I want to see Batman's parents get murdered in this movie?
No, they don't. No origin. They jump right in. He's been doing this for some years or something.
Yeah, good.
It's like they just get started with this new case. And
here's Alfred. Here's Bruce.
Yeah. I'll see this movie eventually, whether it be in theaters or when it's streaming.
I mean, it's on streaming in like 3 weeks.
I think
it really?
April 19th.
Oh, I'll watch it again for sure.
What was it? HBO?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll wait. I'm going to wait.
I think it's like 6 weeks. If I read correctly, it's like mid-April.
Whatever. That's fine. I'm patient. I can do this.
Don't see it in fucking a planetarium,
dude.
I'll tell you that.
Are you going to
Don't
see it
do
again?
that. I will never go back to that theater ever again.
I used to have field trips at that theater, Derek, and we would always get to watch a nature documentary there. And I would get fucked up watching those.
I think everybody in the theater had like a panic attack when the movie started. Like, oh, what did we sign up for? Holy, Like half the theater got up and just started looking around for another seat, realizing there's no way to escape the screen.
So we were, I saw it with a couple people. Johnny was there, and we saw it. We were in like Orange County area yesterday for something, and we were just like, okay, we got some time to kill. Let's see this movie. And we saw it at the weirdest theater I've ever been to, which it wasn't even a chain I had heard of. It was like maybe people out in other areas have heard of it. Picture Show. I'd never heard of that. And it was on the top floor of this mall, a dimly lit top floor.
Okay.
Whoa.
It was like, it's up there. Yeah. It doesn't even look like open up there. When we went there, it was like, oh, it is. Okay. And we went, and it was like, first of all, the ticket was only like $6. It was nothing.
For the brand new movie?
Yeah.
$6?
I was like, this doesn't seem correct either.
Premium, and they're charging.
AMC's charging like $26. There was a whole news story about how AMC was charging more for this movie than other movies, which was weird. A whole weird thing.
Batman tax.
Yeah, basically. But
well, it's 3 hours. You got to pay more.
Yeah, get your money's worth.
You got to get your money.
150%.
So we went there, and not only that, on the way into the theater, they have ads. You know, they'll have posters up, whatever, in the hallways. They're all for the snacks in the theater, but they're not branded. It's just artwork of nachos, cheesy nachos. Like they're not even photos. It's artwork of hot dogs. And I don't remember if it was our friend Casey or if it was Johnny that said these look like ads in South Park. Like they, you know what I mean? Like a poster that would be in the background in South Park.
Yeah.
So it was very weird. Then we get into the theater, and it's a ton of sketchy looking recliners. In a big room. Like we're kind of not even that close to the screen. It's like, all right.
Is it angled? Is it like a stadium seating?
No.
It's a flat
just
floor?
Just a flat, big fucking room with a bunch of sketchy recliners in it. It was like, all right.
It's a murder room.
So then we sit in there. That movie starts. There is no lighting anywhere. Not at all. So you go in it is pitch black in that room. And so the entire first 10 minutes is people everywhere around us going,
oh my God.
Because they can't find a seat.
Randall, I don't know. I don't know. Where are we supposed to? I can't tell.
Holy shit.
Chris, get in here. I mean, for 10 minutes, we were, for a second, it was like, oh no, is this going to be a bad experience? And then after about a minute, it just became hilarious. I was like, if this is the whole movie, this is actually really funny. No, but yeah, for like 10 minutes, everyone was trying to get in and we were dying. Johnny, you, right? I mean, this was.
Oh, it was hell. It was the whole movie. There were people coming in and out using their cell phone
If
lights.
anybody had to get up, they did have to do that. They would have to get up and go like that because there was no, you know what I mean? Like
lights, the track lights on the ground.
There's something like that. None of that in this theater. Wow. It was literally like, if you get up, it's like, good luck to you.
That's fucking gnarly.
It wasn't so distracting after the first 10 minutes, people were showing up late and they would get in the room like, I don't know what to do. I don't know. It was fucking weird, but once it was playing, I thought it was okay. It looked and sounded good.
Wow.
But
I I didn't want to film the movie, but I did film the credits when they were rolling.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I had to show people how fucking insane the screen was.
Oh, okay.
Just
so
your view
yeah.
of it.
oh my God, that sucks. Johnny, you gotta put this in the show.
You just react to that.
That's not a
is-
fisheye lens.
That sucks, dude.
I'm in the fisheye. We're not going to put that on because I don't want to show the footage of Batman that I filmed on my phone. But
I saw the
scrolling.
Beatles Get Back there.
That-
and
those are just the credits.
Derek, I would have thrown up. I would have been dead.
Just
That
to give you-
sucks. It is like you filmed that with a fisheye camera.
Describe the people like the credits.
Seriously, it's like
sequence.
the middle, and then it's like it wraps around you, and he's going like this, and like to get the whole like. How do you watch a movie that way?
And it's
It's like you're in, like when you're like the front row of a theater, and you go, oh, this is a problem. It's like imagine that, but it's a 20-story building that you're in front of, and it's curved around your head.
I don't want to get into what the scenes are, but I'm going to vaguely describe a part of the movie where a character is communicating over text messages on a computer, basically.
Yeah.
They're like typing back and forth. It was seriously like one character over there.
Oh, no.
And then the response, I'm literally like turning around in my chair to
Oh,
read the
my
other character's
God.
response. He says this. Oh, he said that. Oh no, and somebody else is writing shit over there. It was so fucking big.
That's unbearable.
Yeah, it was like, this is how I
You know what it
viewed the
reminds
movie.
me of, Derek? When we went on that shitty fucking Harry Potter ride at Universal Studios.
Oh, yeah.
And it takes there's like a dome screen and it shoves your face
so
into
big,
it, and
yeah.
it like you want to die because you're like in the movie and Harry's talking to you on the Quidditch broom. It looks like that to me.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah, it was crazy.
that's so funny.
So that was the Batman, everybody.
You basically saw it in like VR.
Kind of.
He
You need to see
lived
again
it.
at home.
He didn't
See it
see
in your
it.
living room.
I
When it
dreamed
comes to
it. It
streaming-
felt like I dreamed it.
Yeah, no shit. That's crazy.
I have to watch this movie again.
Yeah.
you missed half of it, honestly.
I'm going to watch it again in a regular theater.
yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, dude, that's crazy. Well,
Yeah. So, anyways,
That covers movies.
yeah, Garrett, before this podcast started, he's like, yeah, I cannot stop playing this game. Like, oh yeah, what I'm thinking it's Elden Ring, Bloodborne. Can't stop playing Bloodborne. It's like Bloodborne.
2016.
Garrett was super hyped for the PS5, so he could finally play all the PS4 games he has.
Like, why Bloodborne now? Why now?
Well, because I wasn't sure about the whole From Software thing because they have this. I mean, we've made videos about them.
Yeah.
The Get Good video. Just do we re-upload that or do we just blast
Well,
it
it was
out?
on Twitter.
Yeah, we put it on
Yeah.
Twitter and stuff.
Check that thing out. It's relevant again. And I just didn't know, like, are these games for me? I always would talk to Johnny about, like, I think of any of them, Bloodborne is the one I should try. I think that has, like, the coolest aesthetic and, like, best enemy designs and stuff. I'm going to try that out. And, like, now that everyone's playing Elden Ring, I've just got, like, FOMO, and it almost looks identical to Bloodborne. So I started playing it again.
FOMO,
Instead of
but
buying-
you could buy. There's no
I
need for
could.
this FOMO.
I could, but I'm committed to finishing Bloodborne, finding out if I actually like From Software games, and then maybe
If you're wanting to
buy
play it all the time,
I'll buy Elden Ring.
I think okay.
well, I
Aren't
mean,
you gonna get sick of this kind of game though? After you beat this game finally?
but this is always what happens. It's like a new Yakuza comes out, so I go back and start playing my old save of the previous one. And like now,
That
I'm
is
gonna
what you
finish
do.
though, because like I just killed the Shadow of Yarnum boss.
That means nothing to me.
Johnny-
but Johnny did me a
could've
sound.
made
That meant
that
something
up.
to Johnny.
Today, I probably butted heads against this boss fucking 20 times before I finally went like, okay, I need to grind some more. And then I came back, beat it one time. And that feeling is what those From Software games are about.
Okay.
And I think I'm hooked.
Then buy Elden Ring.
No, I got to finish Bloodborne first.
Okay. I think you like being a contrarian a little
Yeah.
bit. I think that
Oh, yeah.
you like to you march down your own path. That's fine. But like you march on that path and you think that like you're not doing that. Like you think you're on the same path. But you love
No. I
doing your own
love
thing.
I love being a contrarian in a sense.
Uh-huh.
Part of it is the fact that like, look, I already spent money on this game. I'm not allowing myself
Okay.
to spend more money on the nether toy if I'm not done playing with this toy. So I'm forcing myself. That's like how my brain works.
Bloodborne was free with PlayStation Plus.
Well, yeah, but it takes up bits. I don't
Also,
deserve.
I like
I
how
don't
you're
deserve-
playing Bloodborne to determine if you would like Elden Ring.
Yeah, right.
You could try
it's a
Elden
different
Ring.
game, and it's a different kind of game, right?
Nah,
Like-
bruh. We went up there and just spun one
Yeah.
out.
Hey.
Shouts out. There's a new friend to mention.
Garrett and I was turn on Johnny Save with Bloodborne and Elden
Elden
Ring,
Ring.
and just go nuts, not knowing how to play the game, and that's the bit of that friend dimension.
Sean got on and off the mount, I think 45 times
Yeah.
Real
within the
far
first
in
5
that
minutes.
Game. How long did you play for? An hour?
About 45 minutes.
Yeah, we played.
Nice.
And I kept.
It was fun though. We beat a boss.
I found a. Well, did we beat that boss?
It might have been a tutorial boss.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know.
that was a real boss. I think I found a real boss, and then spoiler.
But
alert,
hey, the HUD looked identical to Bloodborne. All the controls, the lock on, and the movement and everything was. I think it's in the Bloodborne engine.
yeah. I think it may have sold me though. I don't know.
What do you think?
I think I may buy it. I think I may buy this game. It was. I had a lot of fun, and the open world part was cool. And then the things you were saying last week, Derek, about double jumping your horse up and finding a boss by accident, like that's cool.
Glitching that.
Yeah, like I don't know, I'm into that. So maybe we'll see. But-
If you didn't beat Last of Us, I don't think you're beating this one. I'll
Oh,
Not to
Last
be a
of Us
naysayer.
was a fucking bummer.
Talk about misery.
Yeah.
That gets real sad.
I just got to a point where I was like, I don't know where to go, and I'm
I didn't like Last of Us. I never got into it. I like these open world games because when you hit something you don't like, you can just turn around and go in the other direction.
yeah.
True that.
But in a sense, I'm gonna do some straight talk here. I'm gonna be the one person who gives you the straight dope.
Okay.
I'm gonna undersell Elden Ring. Okay.
Okay.
This game is not that groundbreaking. It's not that great.
Hmm.
All right.
Right.
Yeah, I said it. Get over it.
Okay.
There is a whole cult of worship around From Software games where any From Software game gets elevated to
Masterpiece.
this echelon of these are all the greatest game ever made, and this one falls in with that too.
That does happen.
And so it's hard to have an opinion at all because if you like the game, you get criticized. If you don't like the game, you get criticized. So in my opinion, and take it for what it's worth, because everybody's going to have their own take on these games. This is just like Breath of the Wild. It reminds me a lot of Breath of the Wild. It reminds me a lot of Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to feel like any open world game where you ride a horse is just going to be a great game. And they can just all fall into I'm on a horse, I'm going through the forest, I'm killing animals, I'm collecting plants, I'm crafting potions.
Yeah.
yeah.
Instead of finding campfires, you're finding points of grace, I feel like a lot of these mechanics are familiar in games that we already all really love.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also playing Horizon Forbidden West, and that is exactly what you do. It's a robotic horse that you can take control of, but yes, it's the same thing.
And I feel like people are treating Elden Ring like it's something different from another one of these great games, but I feel like they're all great,
Mm-hmm.
If you like Breath of the Wild and if you're a fan of Dark Souls, you're going to love this game. And even for me, I love Breath of the Wild. I'm not that big of a fan of Dark Souls. But I am enjoying Elden Ring because I think it's a little bit easier than the other From Software games.
That's promising too.
Personally.
That this might be the most accessible
Yeah.
to new fans of that, genre.
I think that's because of the open world nature gives you so much freedom in your strategy to play these games.
Well, yeah, because as you said, it's something that you can't beat. Hey, bye, I'll come back to you later. And you a month later, you come back and you leveled up, and then you can kill this boss that was, impossible before.
Not
really
even
hard.
a month later. There's so many tutorials, and Johnny told me about this too, videos on how to just overpower your character. Within an hour or two,
Oh, wow.
you can, depending on your play style, maybe you're a tanked out knight and you want to have heavy armor and badass sword fighting skills. Well, here's the set of things you need to do over the course of an hour or two to build that kind of character out. I'm a mage. I need to find a powerful wand. I need to discover a sorcery teacher who can teach me these spells and unlock that stuff. So there's a couple hours that I can do. But all that stuff is you can do that right away as soon as you start the game. So
if you follow tutorials, but if you kind of just blunder through, you're like, I don't know what, I got this really cool weapon. Maybe I'll go this build.
Yeah, but that's why I feel like this game is easier than other From Software games because you can just be like, I'm hitting a wall here. All right, what do I need to do to quickly like level up my character and take it to the next level? It feels a lot less grindy in a sense than those other games.
When I would get stuck in Bloodborne, and the reason I'd get stuck and stop playing for a couple months is because I just couldn't find anywhere else to go in the map. That map is linear, but it's such a fucking maze.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've explored everywhere that I think I know. I can't find anything new. And then I would have to like try to ask people because it's hard to find shit online. I'm glad that this new one has a map. You can pretty much go anywhere. It's not going to be such a maze.
Yeah. And I'm actually blown away how big the Elden Ring community already is.
Really?
I feel like there's
Sharing info.
There's YouTube channels that already have hundreds of views, hundreds of videos with millions of views, as if these channels have been around for years.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of them have. I mean, they're channels that just advise people on video games, but this game came out a week ago, and it feels like there's such a wealth of information and tutorials and walkthroughs. It's kind of cool.
Are you super far, would you say? Or Johnny, are you like, would you say like far into it or?
No, I'm not far.
Say something real quick.
Definitely.
I'm about halfway.
Oh, okay.
And the game like G checks you halfway through and is like gives you a boss that's like.
Why can we see you?
Sorry.
Yeah, no, let's see you. Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
The game like G checks you and it's like, oh, if you're not dodge rolling correctly, this boss will just annihilate you. I had to stop playing. I injured my thumb.
You injured your thumb?
Your real life thumb.
It hurt. Both my thumbs hurt. I could barely move them.
Wounded in the game, wounded in real life.
Gamer's thumb is a real thing.
You gotta go grind and come
I'm gonna
back.
cut back.
That's so
This
funny.
dude's got swollen thumbs.
For real.
Damn.
Shit. What was I gonna say about that? The game G checks you.
Well, you're not that far, you had mentioned.
Oh yeah, we're talking about progress. Every open world game, I do this all the time. I unlock just enough to have freedom, and then I abandon the story. And I just start fucking around.
Same here.
So I'm like 35 hours into this game, but story-wise, I've done the first main dungeon.
Wow.
I always like playing games that way because then when I do eventually go, all right, I need to beat this. Let me start getting back to the story. I'm buff.
Yeah.
You know, I'm leveled up. I got some badass like armor and weapon that I had found by doing all this side quest.
That's exactly how I love to play too.
I did that in Breath of the Wild. I had the like whatever the ultimate sword is. Like before you even like get to like them talking about Ganon.
When I show up, these fucking demons better shit their pants.
Yeah.
I'm here to
One
fuck
hit
'em up.
killer.
Anyways, Elden Ring, check it out.
Real quick before we go, there's some other video game stuff I want to talk about. But before that, I want to give a shout out to shop.mega64.com, your number one site on the internet for apparel and just merch from the Mega64 universe in general. We got a lot of stuff. In fact, actually, don't forget, March 18th, we've got our brand new tour Blu-ray is coming out. Mega64 Last Laugh tour movie is coming out March 18th. We're gonna it's gonna be really fun. We're gonna launch it. A couple other things. We'll talk about that soon. But yeah, you're gonna love it. And so stay tuned for that and more details on that. But we got all kinds of stuff in there now. On Friday, we did kind of a quick little restock of a whole bunch of stuff that our friend Mariel had done for us. Different clothing designs with that. That all sold out.
Oh, it did? That's great.
No point in even promoting it.
Wow.
Sold out. You missed out.
I love that little themed drop though. All the Kineko designs.
Yeah. It was great, but they're gone. So you got to be on it, you guys. And tonight we have another thing you should be on. We have a 64-hour special. This was available. We did this a run of these a while ago, and this is just leftover stock. So it's first come, first serve. The Instant Mega64 shirt. That design, a tribute to, kind of a great group of food makers out there that we just, we have a great exchange of ideas with them.
Yeah.
They use some
They
of
take a
ours.
little, we take a little.
Yeah.
Kind of an exchange going
So
on.
just kind of a tribute to that. But that's just leftover stuff from the last time we ran them. First come, first serve. So
Get it
pick
while
that
it's
up
hot.
while you can. And as always, and I want to say thank you again to Tenga for sponsoring this. And, if you thought you knew pleasure from our store, wait till you go there. because you're going to be real happy you did.
Yeah.
Treat yourself.
And
Adults.
men, if you're watching, you can't even use a Tenga if you don't have a raging erection. So go check out Crappy Castles where podcasts are found.
Yep.
And
Don't put the cart before the horse.
to get what you need.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Get warmed up.
But for Tenga, click the link below and use the offer code Mega64. I forgot to mention that.
It's a good
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah. Anyway.
We also have like a lot of shirts that people order are finally getting shipped out. So we have,
Yeah.
keep an eye out.
There were a few items that were all manufacturing is taking a little longer right now.
So,
just
oh my
across
God,
the board.
it's something.
Even today, I was dealing. Well, I never know what level of this to say on the air, but I was dealing with a couple people who were really hammering us about like, I never got this. It's where's my I Heart Hot Moms shirt? And it's like, oh no, I think those just finished, or we'll have them in the next couple days.
Yeah.
But they take a little longer to make. But one in particular around Christmas time, we did this Christmas in Pennsylvania sweatshirt. And then it was it was like cool, easy. Well, we got the pre-orders in, we'll go make that. And then suddenly it's like, oh yeah, worldwide shortage on forest green crew neck sweatshirts. It was like just random things keep happening in the manufacturing world where it's like you just can't get that.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah.
yeah.
So Joe, if you're watching this,
we were going to give you a free one of those and now we're not going to.
yeah, we were going to send you
from
a merch pickup.
Yeah.
But those are going to ship soon. But it was just like, it was really like it's been gnarly. The amount of pitfalls that just randomly happen.
Can we talk about the one hiccup we've had about the address it was, or is that something that we
the
have
Ukrainian address?
that we have to wait for another time?
Yeah. Well, I'll just kind of set this up. Like some shipments that we get, we get a lot. And not all of them are safe to come here to our studio. We have a lot of activity around us. We don't have like a designated, like, oh, here's a nice place to deliver packages and, whatever. There's a ton of activity outside. So if somebody drops off a package, who knows where that's going to go? Like someone could just pick it up.
Also, if it's not during business hours, it's not coming in. So it's a whole thing.
Sometimes we have unusual hours. It's just not. So sometimes we'll have it go to other people's houses and stuff like that. Like sometimes it just goes to my place and I bring it with me. I'll just outside my door, I'll have like 5 boxes of acrylic figures. Yep, got to bring that in. It's just kind of wherever. And there was someone we were shipping stuff to living nearby our studio, fairly close. Yeah. Where they had their house, it was safe to deliver to. They had a big driveway and all that. So it's like, okay, if we got a big delivery and we want to make sure, double check that it's safe and if it can't come here, we'll have it go there.
Because sometimes it's a pallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a lot.
Yeah. And and it's totally easy to do that. Well, they moved and there's like a developer there or someone who I don't know if someone I guess someone has bought that place, but I don't think it's them. I think it's like a contractor or someone that they hired that's been there. And we've changed all the addresses, but it has been so frustrating because some of the companies we work with just like didn't get the memo or even like have been shipping to the right address for months and then accidentally send it to the old one. And
it's so then the thought was like accidents happen. People get other people's mail all the time.
Sure.
This is not a big deal.
Yeah,
Let's go to this old address and just pick up the boxes. And this is a fine thing.
Yeah.
So Rock was like, hey, Sean, could you go swing by and get that on your way to work? No problem.
Yeah.
So I go to the old address, knock on the door, nothing. A dude shows up behind me and he's holding like a red envelope, a clipboard. It looks like he's going to sell something. And he looks at me and I look at him and I go, how's it going? He's like, okay. I'm like, okay. And then I'm just waiting for the person inside. And he's just standing there for the longest time. And he goes, what's your name? And I thought he's just making small talk. I'm like, my name's Sean. How's it going? Whatever. And then a long pause again. He goes, what are you doing here, Sean? It's like, don't know why. I'm like, do you live here? No, I don't live here. Okay. I'm just picking up a box. So long pause. what if I have your box? I do you have my box? I don't.
Came from behind you.
Yeah,
He
from
just
behind
got out
me.
of the
Serial killer.
house.
Yeah, and I'm like, what?
Start getting your
And he's
keys
like,
clawed up.
well, what if I may have a box or two in my car? Maybe they belong to you. Okay. Do you have a box? And I don't know. Like it would say like, I don't know, Mega64 on it or Bodie. I don't know what. And the guy, Bodie is not the name on the box. Okay. Is Rocco Bodie the name on the box? Yeah, that's the name on the box. Okay. Okay. Do you have my box? Yeah. Yeah, I have the box. It's in my car. Okay. He's like, well, sorry to give you the runaround. I was waiting for someone named Rocco or someone else to pick up the box. And I'm like, yeah, I'm someone else.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm the
what
someone
the
else.
fuck? Like, okay. So he gives me the box and he's like, okay, well, I guess that's it. I'm like, I guess so. Yeah. And I'm like, well, sorry to bother you, but I was like weirded out.
I guess this
Weirded
is
out by
goodbye.
this person.
Yeah.
So then I drive off, call Rocco. I'm like, Dad, that was Twilight Zone. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Different vibes, man.
Yeah. If you would have opened the door, I would have been like, this is, hey. But it was like, he was behind me standing there like,
Yeah.
So fun development. Like 3 days later, another box goes to this fucking house.
And again, this was a manufacturing company we worked with and corrected the address months ago. They've been sending everything to the right address. And then someone in the chain just messed up and like, oh, what's this old address? And did it. I mean, it was like, no, God, no.
And so I'm like, I just had the worst experience. I'll go back. God damn it. Knock on the door. This time the guy answers the door. So that's a good sign.
You see him, same guy.
See him. And
He's
I'm
in
like,
the house now.
He's in the house. And I go, hey, remember me from a few days ago? Man, sorry. I cannot believe this happened again. Like that's so whatever. Like this was an accident. I don't think it was an accident. What? I don't think this was an accident. Well, we definitely didn't mean to bother you and have this come here. No, it was an accident. This was an accident. And then he just like stares at me and I'm like, do you have the box, man? And he's like, he gives me the box. And I'm like, okay, thank you. I'm like, do you want to like give me your number? So if this ever happens again, you can just like text me and I'll come down real quick and you just leave it outside. I don't leave packages out on the porch. Right. But like, I understand. But like, this would be like, hey, it's on the porch. Come get it right now. And I'll be there in like 30 seconds to get the thing. No. Do you want to get my number though? So you just text me, then I'll come get it. And then he just shakes his head and closes the door in my face.
Oh my God.
What?
Okay,
So-
got the fucking box.
So Sean
way to
messages me,
act.
and I don't remember if you messaged me or called me, and is like, I'm never going to this fucking house again. If something else goes there, I don't care. It's gone. That's it, because I'm never going back there. Someone else can. I'm not. It was like, and I was like, don't worry about it. That's not going to happen again, because I corrected it. And then another company.
Oh,
Another
third
company.
strike.
I'm not joking. This was one we have been working with. We work with all the time. They had all the correct info. And again, someone in the chain just found the first address they found and shipped it. It was a bunch of shirts, actually. Which I was worried, but we'll get into it. But so it's like, oh my God, these went there. You're kidding me.
Boxgate.
So I'm like, I'll step in on this one. I'll step in. And it's like, I'm so pissed off because I thought it had been sent. We thought it was arriving where it should, and it didn't. And it's like, oh my God, I know it's there. So I messaged the guy myself. Hey, can we come by and get this thing? I'm so sorry. I don't know why this keeps happening. I'm so sorry. Can I get this? And he's like, fine. Like, this is the most terse text ever. I will be there at 3:00. I will not be there long. I'll be there at 3:00. Just, you can get it then. And I said the same thing. I'm like, can you leave these outside? Don't like to have packages outside. It's like, put it in the middle of the road.
I don't care where
Let
it
a
is.
car hit it.
Yeah.
I don't care. No offense to anyone.
Go
who
to
ordered a shirt,
7-Eleven, put it by
but-
the Slurpee machine. If it's still
Yeah.
there when I show up, great.
Yeah.
Set it on
like
your
if
trash
something
can.
happens, I'll reprint them. It's fine.
I don't know what to tell you.
But let's just, like, can we do that? Yeah, no. Okay. I'll go there. I was getting so pissed off because we were in the middle of kind of an important meeting here.
Mm-hmm.
We're working on this bigger project and trying to decide stuff. And it's like, I have to leave right now. Like we're in the middle. It's like 2:58. And it's like, guys, I have to leave to go get these shirts. I don't know what else to do. I have to go. And so you saw me. I left here like
Not
fucking
happy.
not happy.
Not stoked.
I'm driving there. And the guy messaged me again about something, whatever. And he's like, yeah, I'll be here at 3. And I'm like, cool. It was like 3:02, 3:03. And I'm like, just to let you know, I'm pulling up. And I get the text back. I just left. I was like,
You left the meeting.
I had a 3-minute window to
We're all waiting for him.
because he was like, I'll be here for a bit. I was
here at
assuming
3, I'll be here for
I
a
was
bit.
assuming a bit was more than 3 minutes. I texted him at 3:02. I'm pulling up because I really was. I was like at a stop around the corner, and I just wanted to let him know. Yeah, I just left. So then I was like, oh my God. I had to park and cool down. I'm going, okay. Oh man, okay. Yeah, I messaged you guys, like you guys were like, hey, while you're out, do you want to do this and this and this and this? And I'm like, no, I'm coming right back. He just left. And I didn't get any response back for maybe 5 to 8 minutes. And then
knew.
one from Derek in the Slack. Yikes. I think you could probably feel how I was feeling.
It was
what
us
was there
being
to
like,
say?
oh no.
Oh,
And
we
then
were
like,
worried about you
yikes.
coming back.
And it's like, what should we say? And Derek goes, I got it. Yikes.
So
What does he gonna say?
I'm sitting in a parking lot cooling down like I am not happy right now. I messaged the guy. I'm like, can you leave it outside? He won't do it. And I say, okay, so when are you there next? Next Wednesday, 3:00. I mean, this was like
That's like
almost
4
a
days
week
later,
away.
right? Yeah.
And it was like, you are fucking kidding me.
What a
Can you leave it with, there's other workers around there. Can you leave it with them? Is there something we could work out? Not an option.
I'm holding this hostage.
Are you kidding? And that's what I started thinking. I'm like, okay, well, we're going to start getting into like, you're holding our property. Like
what?
You want to start talking about that?
Yeah.
And so I said, so there's no one you could leave it with? And he said, not an option. And I said, I can't meet with you ahead of time. And he said, not an option. And this was the mind blower, and it won't blow your mind right away, but you let it sit for a minute. He said, no, for you to get it from me. Well, here's the thing. For you to get it from me, I would have to meet you at a special time. I'm not coming to this house to work until next Wednesday. So for you to get this from me, I would have to meet you at a special time before then. Right, which I'm not going to do.
He's toying with you.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
There was not, hey, you could tell with some people. I believe that. That I don't think there was. It was that like just serious. So
he wasn't having fun with this either.
Yeah.
No one's having fun here.
Yeah.
He'd be rid of it if he left it out the fucking.
I have a plan.
Oh my God.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah.
Here's what we do.
What's the next step?
Legally, he can't destroy our packages or get rid of them. He can't throw away our mail.
Can't open them. Yeah.
We should order a box and have it purposely shipped to his address. And then we contact him and say, oops, one more box has been sent to your address. Legally, we need to get this box from you. So hold on to it. Just let us know when we can come and get it. And then every time he proposes a time to come get the box, we say that doesn't work. We say that doesn't work.
Not an option.
It's not gonna. Not an
And if
option.
he ever threatens to get rid of the box, we tell him like legally we have to get it from you, because that's hundreds of dollars worth of stuff that you're in possession
Not
of.
an option.
See, I thought what you were going to say is send a package that smells really bad or something.
Yeah, like
No,
meat.
no,
we'll get it later.
No.
One final package, but now it's on our terms. Now, for us to get the package, we're gonna have to go there at a special time. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
So
I just wanted to add to. So I came. So all of that happened. I after cooling off, drove back. What happened as soon as I walked in? Derek says, "You're late."
Oh
Nobody
God.
even mentioned it. Like that
No
was not
one-
a planned thing.
No.
Derek just threw that out.
And to which I responded, well, actually, I'm not going to say publicly what I responded with. I almost did. That was almost a slip up.
Oh.
It won't happen again. But respect
hot.
the gag. I wasn't happy to hear that. But respect the gag.
Yeah.
Well,
It was
You
hot.
never want to hear you're
but-
late here.
but-
God, you don't.
So, actually, to be fair, the company that did that was actually very kind and worked with us to like, no, we're going to replace that for you. We're going to, we'll get, we'll make this right. We'll help you get it, whatever. But we didn't really need to. I mean, Garrett just.
Our
swooped in
friend
and-
Garrett came.
Yeah.
He showed up to the place 2 minutes early. Walked up 1 minute before that.
Are you
The
the
name?
dude?
Are you
Yep.
the dude?
I am here for the box. Put the box in my arms. Thanks. Turned around and walked
God,
away.
Garrett, you nailed it. You nailed
I
it.
did. I mean, I
You
hate
did
to.
some Garrett charm.
It reminds me of when I had a MacBook a million years ago. There was a MacBook I had maybe a decade ago that had an expanding battery. My laptop was turning into a soccer ball. It was like, oh my God, this thing's going to explode. And I took it to the Apple store and they just hassled me for an hour. You're fine. This doesn't mean it's going to explode. These things just happen. Batteries expand. I'm like, okay, this doesn't seem right. And then later, Garrett bought that MacBook off of me, took it to the Apple store. Oh shit, your battery.
Here's a free one.
And I'm just like, all right.
On the house. Free battery.
Free battery for everyone.
It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
That's what it all comes down
But
to.
I knew going in, I was like, well, I'm going to give no room for this gentleman. He's getting zero wiggle room. I'm going to park. If I leave right on time and I get there 5 minutes early, I'm going to park down the street, wait until 1 minute before, and then I'm going to pull right around the corner,
Descend.
leave the engine running, and it was perfect. Door was open. He was there.
This guy sounds like a serial killer.
I-
Honestly.
Jenny-
He sounds like he has mental.
So odd.
Because every time this happened, I would call Jenny and she's like, "You're gonna get killed. Stop going to this
This
house."
sounds like the type of guy who like strangles somebody because the flowers are not the right
It-
color.
but like again, this person I don't think is the owner. I think
No.
he's someone who was like fixing up the house to like for the owner or is gonna
Yeah.
flip it or I don't know what.
I don't know.
Flipper
It's something like
types.
that.
But like
think. I'm not
I
sure.
don't because when I
What are
asked him,
these
"Do you
yuppie
live here?"
types?
he said no with no explanation.
That's some yuppie
That's gotta be
flipper
it.
shit.
That's gotta be it.
I think he's just working there and he just like is in charge. He's the groundskeeper, if you will.
It's no good.
But,
he's
ugh.
a gentrifier.
I just
We got to film a prank on this guy.
Derek, I think I'm legitimately scared of him. Like I don't want
That's
to.
why we got to film ourselves fucking with him.
I was so like I even talking about it like there's zero detail. This is a fine story to tell, but I'm just like this guy he finds me. I don't want him to find me.
This guy's just like, he's very like NPC. It's like he's hard to even describe.
That's why he blends in.
He has no features almost. And yeah, part of me was when Sean had such an odd interaction, I'm thinking like, is this like whistling the song in Scotland, or is this like asking the cop, "What'd you say to me?" in Boston? Like,
Oh, you think I'm
is
the
this
crazy
Sean
one?
being awkward?
I am awkward.
Well, yeah, and I've been there too. And you and someone get on the wrong frequency.
I've been the wrong.
Like you're trying to
frequency.
just pay for something in the cashier, and you were just like on the wrong vibe. Like
didn't
I've been
work.
there. That's not what was going on. Because I knew going in, I was like, I'm giving this guy no wiggle room. I'm going to say as little as possible. But even then, I was like, we were fucking eyeing each other. You know, I went in, I was like, I kind of like pumped up. Like maybe I did a little pre-workout in the car, got a little niacin flush. And I was like, what's up?
What's up? You the
guy?
dude?
He was like, yeah. I mean, we definitely like, we alphaed each other down. But I got the box. So
You got you're the winner.
hopefully.
Next time, it's my turn. I'm the only one who hasn't dealt with
Yeah.
this.
I think
You're
we should
next.
keep sending different employees though, for sure.
Just the box, and there won't be a problem.
If he would just, if you would just leave him on the porch,
Not gonna
this
do
would
that.
never have been a thing.
I don't like leaving boxes on the porch.
It is a 3-minute window.
Stick 'em
I
in your neighbor's
guarantee.
garden, fucker.
I honestly, as I said, like throw him in the trash can. I'll pull him out of the trash can. I don't care.
He didn't like that idea.
Oh my god,
This is shenanigans, and he's not up to
I
shenanigans.
don't think it was an accident. I don't know what you want from me.
He's the type of guy that watches the History Channel and
you
nothing
got
but
me.
the History Channel.
Yeah, I'm cased in the joint. I don't know what you want.
This guy
well,
doesn't
is it too
sleep.
late to confess? It was
Yeah.
intentional.
What would have been on purpose about that?
I don't
Like,
know.
what an insane thing to say.
It's like
you caught me.
you don't want me to know like the layout of the house. I've been inside that house. Hate to break it to you.
I kept
I've
thinking.
seen it.
I was thinking like I should tell him creepy details about the house, freak him out. Like if he
There's
if
a
he
ghost.
or I was gonna be like, hey,
the Foo Fighters.
the writing in the attic, weird, right?
The Foo Fighters was a horror movie in this house. Anyways, well that's our story. Anyway, so when you get, can I see what shirt? Does it matter?
I think the last one was
It was the version 4.1 shirt. If you wear one of those shirts, just know the trouble we went through to get that shirt for you.
Yeah.
And
But we
enjoy
wanna-
it a little bit more.
We want to fill the pre-orders as soon as possible. This guy's holding them hostage for like
Honestly,
half a
you
week.
would have already had them on your body
If it weren't
wasn't
for
for
him.
this dude.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, it's true actually.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was the crisis of last week.
So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. I'm hoping it doesn't. But seriously, I've checked with every company that we work with. They got the right address, but sometimes they don't read.
You know what? There's going to be one more. I am sure of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're not done yet.
Because I had that's been the debate is like, I got some things I really want to say, but I don't know if I can say them until.
Do not, Rocco, wait 3 years and then say the thing.
Yeah.
Like, we got to wait.
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
What? Oh, okay, damn.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Shit.
He'll tell you after
him
the
how I
show's
feel.
over.
Just tell him how
I'll
I
tell you how I really feel.
I was honest. I think you'd be honest.
Nah, it's okay. Well,
Well, I think that's a good place to end this show. That's a great
I'm with you.
story,
Yeah.
and we're not going to top it. So that's going to be it. Thanks for watching, everybody. It's been a fun time. Go check out Batman, or don't. Go check out Elden Ring, or don't.
check out Studio 666.
Definitely watch the Foo Fighters movie, because
Watch
they need
that.
all the help they can get.
They do.
Well, I mean, hey, truthfully, Derek, this movie tanked. Like, I don't know what the budget was, but I think it made $1 million, and that's it. And it was a wide release. It did not do well.
Maybe go straight to streaming. That's what it felt like.
But
Hey.
go see it. If you can find a theater, go ahead. You'll laugh.
Yeah. By the way, we didn't say it, but I really enjoyed. We got to that theater, and the entire back of the theater was actually filled up. I mean, not the theater was filled up, but the whole back row.
The whole back row.
Yeah, that was weird. We walked
and it was all like a teenage crowd who they were already. This is a theater we don't normally go to, connected to a mall.
Yeah.
and I was like, this right here is why I try to stay away from mall theaters, because this is such an annoying crowd. And they're all making noise the whole time. And then that movie started, and it was like, oh, left. I'm like, oh, you didn't think you were in the wrong theater.
They ran out.
Seriously, they all had backpacks. I mean, they were like just out of school or something.
I think they were hiding.
Yeah, it seemed like they were
They were
hiding
theater
from
hopping,
something.
and that's a tactic you do is you go hide in another theater and wait for your showtime to start. And that movie started, and then they got the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
This guy's experienced.
He-
Hey, go check out our Patreon,
Yeah.
the Mega64 Patreon. We're going to have new episodes of Friend Dimension and Movie Club coming out this week, and they're going to be really good. You're not going to want to miss them. Make sure you are over there supporting us.
That's right.
Because we really appreciate it. Go to the shop and visit our sponsors, and we'll see you again next week.
Cannot
here on
wait.
Twitch.
Bye. Fade to black.
No.